We're live.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Typical Skeptic Podcast. I got my good friend from Pittsburgh, Cat Monster, with me today, and she's going to be doing some readings for you guys. But we'll get into, her history as well. And tonight, I wrote tonight on the top Typical Skeptic Podcast with live psychic readings and multidimensional insight. Cat is an artist, mystic, and fire gazer whose visionary work acts as a portal into myth, illness, and ancestral memory, channeling old gods, pagan spirits, and dream realm wisdom. She guides others through shadow integration, emotional alchemy, and deep creative healing. This is your chance to receive insight, clarity, and intuitive guidance live on air. And and if you guys want, I'll put them into the chat. But Cat, how's it going? How nice to see you again. How are you?
It's good to see you as well. I'm doing well. Been busy trying to post new things to the YouTube channel, and just doing a lot of work around the house and things to try to rearrange. So yeah, how have you been?
Yeah,
it was good seeing you at the cryptid.
Good. I'm just it's a little crazy lately. Yeah, that was good. Yeah, that was a good show. I was trying to think here. Where we could start off. Did you want to tell the audience, for people that might not saw one of our shows, a little bit about yourself?
Okay. Sure. I am Cat Monster. I am an artist and an intuitive, and I work primarily in watercolor and acrylic, doing surrealist art with a nature kind of haunted theme. I typically try to do channeling before I paint. I have a whole separate canvas that I go to pre-work and just allow things to flow so that, one, it allows you to release some of that energy when you're, I don't know if I know a lot of other artists, and I don't know about a lot of other people when they go into a project and they get really tense about it because they want it to turn out a certain way. So going and doing, I call them scribbles, but the whole thing kind of looks like its own work of art as it is. But that allows me to loosen up. It allows my brain to just kind of relax, and then I can channel while I'm doing it, especially if I'm working because a lot of my work touches on things like childhood trauma, breakups, trauma in general, and trying to process your emotions when you can't physically expel them. You can complain about a relationship or complain about a situation, but sometimes it's just way more than you can put into words. And so getting that out into a picture is something that, I really try to thrive in. So I have a lot of emotional work with things that I'm not too great at talking about or can't talk about because I'm either with the person or, if it has to do with my mom, then I'm not so willing to put that out into the universe verbally. She is very much alive and watches my stuff. So if I'm upset about her, I don't want to do that, but this allows me to then channel it into my artwork. So that's what I wanted to do. And I wanted to come and talk today.
Absolutely.
Actually about channeling, and how everybody else can channel their guides. So I've been seeing, at least in my feed, in my Instagram feeds and stuff, a lot of people channeling. And I think there may be, and I was talking to a friend, so this is what prompted this, but there's a bit of a misconception that your guide, your spirit, God is going to talk to you the same way as he does, say, like a channeler that gets on in front of millions of people, in front of YouTube, and like downloads these messages and spits them out in a different accent, a different cadence, and that sort of thing. And that's not always how it's going to show up for everybody. And my friend was saying how, like they don't hear another person, um, but I mean, you might, you during the hard times where your brain is just like in a complete knot of fog, and you hear that little thing at the back of your head saying that like you're gonna get through this, you're gonna be okay. Um, that's your guides coming through, or they may come through in other ways, like through music, through synchronicities. You really needed to hear that one song to like get you through a breakup or have you leave that toxic person, or it may come through as just making you late for work because there was going to be a bad accident down the way and you missed that. So they come through in a bunch of different ways. And my one friend had asked me, like, whenever they saw me reading on here, and they were like, you pause, and people normally say things, but I tend to internalize it. But I wait for the chatter before I start reading. And he's like, I don't get chatter. And I was like, I get chatter. Like, I focus on the question until I start hearing it's just like a ton of whispers going off at one time, like they're talking about the what I'm asking. Um, and so that's something that I experience with channeling. I don't know that I will ever get to the point where I can, have my guides talk to me and them talk through me. But that might be my own personal hang up. um, but that this is another way that I can do it, like through art and through reading the cards and trying to help out other people in that way as well. Because like a lot of times my art and my poetry will speak to them for something that they needed
Oh
to
yeah.
hear. Go ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're gonna do live readings tonight, guys. So you can put your questions in the chat. If you have um, if you have a question, go ahead and add it to the chat now. We'll start with the readings now. And again, if you want to donate, the links are in the description. And yeah, thanks everybody for showing up tonight. And do you want to read me first? That way we can give people an idea of like how you do everything. Like I think that's always good to start off with while we're waiting for someone to want a reading.
Yeah, absolutely. And hi everybody in the chat. I see you all. Hi, hi, hi's. And let me know, anybody, if you have any questions. If you want to get a reading, I'll be more than happy to do so. The donations are not needed for a reading, but they are always appreciated to help out Rob's channel. So much obliged. But if you would like a reading, Craven, you would like a reading? Cool. So I'll get you after Rob.
No. Well, you can get him first. I was just waiting until somebody wanted a reading. Go ahead and get that. You can get the audience that way. And I want a reading, but I would rather let the audience have their readings first. You know what I mean? I just thought maybe we needed to kill time, so if somebody started asking, but you can get them first. I'll put Craven up first. Yeah.
Okay, Craven, do you have do you have a question, like a specific question, or do you just want a generalized reading?
He says, "Homie, I'm fine. I'm along for the ride." Oh.
All right.
Just like general. He says just general, like a yes, no. Is it nice? Is it nice over that way? It was a nice day today here in the Burg, you know. wasn't bad. It was with this Facebook is mass deleting this photo. Well,
Yeah, it was a really nice day. I took Yuffie out in her stroller. Her wheelchair came today, so I put that together and we tested it out a little bit. She's not a fan, but she'll get used to it.
that's cool.
My dog's 19. So my dog's 19 for anybody who doesn't know. So she has all the ailments that come as with the 19-year-old dog. She's like 100, people's years. Okay, so we got a good spread here for Craven. We have the Emperor. So the Emperor is like the representation of masculine energy and like really coming into your own and claiming that masculinity. But it is with like a higher power sort of situation. Like the Emperor rules not with an iron fist, but with understanding and clarity, right? So that's something that's coming that's going to be like pulling it into you and really allowing you to fully accept some things so that you can, fully embrace like who you are, what you are, and how you are in this world, and just like knowing that. He does have a dog by his side, which I always like to note, that helps and sits there as like his guardian, his guide, the familiar. Next, we have the Judgment card. So the Judgment card shows up in a couple of different ways. Like it can mean judgment or like a court situation. However, it's also about letting go of your past, like the things that have happened to you, and coming into a clarity about who you are and having that internal rise up situation where you really step into your own. So I think paired with the Emperor card, with the Judgment card, that's what we're looking at. Because it is followed by the Seven of Pentacles, which is a reap what you sow. Like she's there harvesting the grapes, having projects come to fruition. It's not like instant money. This is something that has been planned and productive, like through time. So looking at this, like as a full picture, it's really speaking to like your something. There's going to be a movement shift in your life, right? So where maybe you had some insecurities, maybe you had some hangups, things are going to start like really working out and coming back into your favor. And internally, you're just going to be like really breathing in the essence of like who you are as a person and getting more clarity and like more fulfillment out of your long-term projects. So this is overall a very good reading. You're going to be having possibly some, what's the term? Not clarity moments, but just like a come up sort of situation where you'll be just like really settling into the things that were previously kind of like haunting you. But that Emperor energy will allow you to like come up and have that clarity, come into your true self, and have like just an overall happier situation going on internally, probably externally too, with that Seven of Pentacles. to where things are just going to be a little bit more manageable and you're going to be able to breathe a little easier. So that's the reading for the 3 cards. You're very welcome.
That was amazing. Wow. That was great. No, if anybody donates, you'll get priority, otherwise I'm just going to go down the list and see who is next. So we fell. Marfell 11. Or 1011. She says, so what is going on in my timeline and highest path right now? Anything my guys or higher self are telling me, please. And she says, thank you, Maria. Is my microphone muffled?
I can hear you just fine.
I brought it closer to me. The stand's not working. I gotta get a new stand.
Well, I shuffled the cards before I focused.
I brought it closer to me just in case.
Yeah, no problem. So Tony in chat asked what other platforms we're casting on. I am personally casting on my channel and my Twitch. Rob is casting on Rumble here, and where else?
YouTube, Rumble, and Facebook.
There you go.
You can see that.
Yeah, I linked that.
Hold on. Let me. Now that I charge my phone a little bit, let me log on with my phone, Kat, because I think we have delay. I don't want to see stream.
Okay. There is a little bit of lag.
I'm gonna.
Y'all get to see me for a sec. Okay. While he's figuring that out.
Computer. Okay, we shouldn't have any. Now I can still see the chat on the. Can you hear me better, Kat? Everything? No.
Yeah, I can hear you better. I can't see you.
Yeah, I just have my camera off because it's bad on the phone.
Okay. Okay. We had 4 come out for you. First we have the Magician. So we have a really good spread here. So we have the Magician, the Page of Pentacles, the Ace of Cups, and then the King of Pentacles. I'll hold these up again as I go through them, but so have you been maybe toying with the idea of starting a new job or possibly your own business? Because we have this Page of Pentacles, which is a new adventure in a financial situation, as well as this King of Pentacles, which the King of Pentacles is like you're set, you're comfortable, you're He's ruling over his kingdom. He's been there a while because there's vines growing along his legs here. He's got his cow, his dog, the beautiful kingdom in the background, and grapes growing. It's like showing like a constant stream of money, to where you're comfortable. You have that, you have the abundance to be okay and relax and sit back and settle into your situation. With the Ace of Cups and the Magician, though, the Ace of Cups is like your cup runneth over, right? The cups are very much about your emotional state, and with the Ace of Cups, it has that you're fulfilled. And with the cup running over, I don't know if anybody's ever heard the expression where you can have my overflow, but the cup is mine. Like you can't pour more into somebody else's cup that you don't have. With her, it's overflowing and it's growing plants at the bottom. And, it's really just having the not only financial stability, but the mental stability with that, right? Like you're able to help others, you're able to be like okay with you enough to be able to be okay with other people. And you have the Magician here, which is really about like owning you, owning your own power and things. But it also gives the message about like you have abundance and you have this mental clarity and emotional stability, but with the Magician it is your power, right? So like you have to make sure that you're not over giving. You have to make sure that you're not going to let somebody else take advantage of you. So if somebody else comes into a hard situation, you can only have my overflow. The cup is mine, right? So like if somebody's draining you, if they're an energetic vampire, if they're trying to get you to sign for papers and things like this to like help them out, maybe take a step back and take a breather and be like, can I, if something goes wrong, can I do this for the future? Um, so like you just have to keep that in mind, especially with that Ace of Cups, right? You're going to have that ability to help out, but you have to make sure that you're not going to be giving anything but that overflow, because like if something goes wrong, then it could be coming down in like a tower moment. And it is very much about a self-preservation, but also being able to give with abundance, but making sure that you are like preserving oneself and not doing too much. So like overall it looks like you're going to be on the right path. Like it, definitely with that, the Page of Pentacles there, you know I don't know if you were switching jobs. I'm not sure if you said, I wasn't looking at the chat, but I'm not sure if you're like switching jobs or considering like maybe a business venture or going off on your own and like an entrepreneurship. But that might be something that you may want to consider. And if you are, so something I've learned lately and I've been putting into my practice when I'm trying to make decisions, when I'm trying to find a job, I've heard of people doing this with trying to find partners and stuff, is doing keywords. So like if you're looking for a job, and pick an obstructive keyword, like you're going to be looking for a job, you're going to interviews, you have a couple of them, you're not really sure which one to pick, but try to like pick a keyword like flapjacks, tiddlywinks, cake, cookies, something like that wouldn't normally be said in the situation. But if that happens to come up, then you can look for that sign. And that might be something that you want to do, is, include in your prayers, hey, can you make sure that I'm making the right moves here, that I'm not going to be taking on too much, that, I'm overflowing, and really using your personal power to make that decision with whatever this new adventure is that's going to be leading to stability.
Well, that was great. Anything else for her?
Sorry?
Anything else for her?
No, that
Or him? No, it was her. Sorry, Maria. Yeah. Okay, I'll move on to the next one here. And you guys are these are really in-depth readings, guy. You're really doing good. This one's from I don't know if we can answer this question or not. This is from Dr. Strange Room. He says, I have a question. He says, can you ask Hermes if my work is making him proud?
I could probably do a yes or no. Because that seems like more of a yes or no question.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, there's definitely cards within the tarot deck that are, yes or no's. Pretty clear. Oh, wonderful, Maria. I'm so glad to hear that. Good. I wish the best of luck to you. I know we're all going through a bunch of timeline shifts right now, and so it's been like a little up and down, and everybody just give yourself some grace as we go through this. The universe is going through some things right now with all of the changes and all of the disruptions that we're having with all of the world. Everybody knows what's going on. So if you have down days, just know that this too shall pass, and we'll shift back into your productive timeline, and it is going to be okay. All right. We had 2 cards come out. So first we have today. First we have the 2 of Cups, which is a partnership, but generally the 2 of Cups is more a business partner. It's not so much like a romantic partner. It can be, but it's more of like a companionship, a business companion normally, somebody that you're able to celebrate your successes with. So we have that, and then we have the 6 of Wands, which is also a good card. And that's more about like community, bringing together and sharing what you have, sharing the gifts that you have with other people, being able to help out others, and really like celebrate with a community. So whatever your work you're doing, is it community based? Is that a thing that's going on? But I'm thinking the 2 of Cups is really like a yes, like we're in partnership with what you're doing, and we're going to be able to build this sort of community around this. You're a Hermetic alchemist working on your Magnus Opus. Well, I say that was both of them, isn't it? You have a partnership going with them, and if you're planning on publishing things or sharing your work with other people, or sharing your work with like even a small community of people, then I'm going to say that's a go ahead, and he's on board with what you're doing. Okay.
Okay, I'll move on to the next one. And the Penguins are up, guys. If you guys watching the Penguin game tonight, the Penguins are.
Did you say the Penguins are playing?
Yeah, the Penguins. They were down. They are down. They're down 3-1 against the Phillies. It's like the Battle of Pennsylvania for hockey, yeah, it's they won the last game. Now they're playing tonight. They're already up 1-0. I just checked my phone. I was checking, we got a
I'm
bunch
not
of.
a Penguins fan, but I do always like to watch hockey. I
Are you
know
a
the
hockey
drafts
fan?
are going on right now. I will watch it if it's on. Like, I don't specifically seek out a lot of sports anymore, but if I happen to be at a bar or somebody else is watching it, like I like sports, so
Yeah.
I typically watch football if it's on, or baseball. I'm more of an in-person type of thing, but yeah, I watch soccer. Soccer, hockey, and football are my three that I typically watch because I grew up in Texas and football's god down there, so it's just kind of stuck.
Did you happen to see the draft in Pittsburgh this weekend? Like, did you? I was there for one day of it. Like,
I did not go into that area. When I was down in Pittsburgh this weekend, it was more on the south side, on the other side of not the Ohio, but the other river that has the long name that I completely mess up each time.
Yeah.
And so I was down near the south side, not the south side flats, but like the south side riverside on the weekend. But I did hit the traffic, like coming through Green Tree, and that was good fun.
Yeah, it was busy. Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah. This one's from Source Approved. She says, "I would like to know how we were doing as a collective towards our highest potential timeline for humanity." That's a good question. So she wants to know something.
That is a good question. Yeah.
I'm starting to feel better as the time goes on here. Like when we first started off, I was feeling like really bad. That's why I was late. But then now, as we're going, I'm starting to feel a lot better.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. Well, this is an interesting spread. All right, so this is known. We got the moon, right? That's the moon card represents like secrets, things coming out of the shadows, mystery, things being revealed. So following that, we have the Strength card, the Nine of Swords, and the Knight of Cups. So we'll go through this in a second. But so we have that Moon card, right? We all know that there's like a ton of secrets coming out, that the corruption level has been getting revealed more and more publicly, where before it was just like on the fringe chats of like the things that were going on. And, now everything's like coming out into the light, right? And we do need to hold the line. Like the Strength card's coming up. There's a tornado in the background. She's holding it back with her wand, but very calmly. And she has her guide, that lion, that symbol of strength, there at her side. So, as things come out, because there are going to be more things that are coming out, there's still a lot that's back in the background that still hasn't come out into light, like just like the absolute atrocities going on over the Middle East. We don't even know a quarter of what's going on over there. So like, as the things start coming to light, we have to remember who we are as a people, who we are as a community, that we are all one and that we're all here together, right? Like we're not separate people, even though we live far distances, and we have to keep our strength and our community and like really just hone in on that to where when times seem desperate, because we're followed by the Nine of Swords. That Nine of Swords is like she's so upset about everything, right? Like things are just absolutely going wrong for her. She's got spilled ink on the floor, but in the background, that sun's rising. With every new sunrise comes another day. So even though that like things are overwhelming right now, things are just like, a lot of us are trying to wrap our heads around like this shit was actually happening. These things were actually happening right underneath our nose, where some of us were blissfully unaware and some of us were more in tune with things. But like for the ones that it's really affecting emotionally, know that there is light coming. We have this the Knight of Cups, and cups, I said before, is all about like emotion. And the Knight of Cups is like rushing in with an abundance of love. So even though things are not great, and even though there's powers that be that are not doing what they're supposed to be doing as like the governing powers, we as humans, as long as we are keeping our own, like keeping ourselves at a higher frequency, allowing ourselves to continue on the path to where we are all, one as humanity, the sun's going to rise again. Like even though like these terrible things are happening, as long as we as a collective are involved in the community of things and thinking about everybody's good, we're going to be rushing in with love. There's going to be that time where we're not going to have to worry so much. I mean, bad things are always going to happen. There's always going to be secrets. There's always going to be that like underlying that, I don't want to say rot, but there's always going to be rot in the world. And it's like, even though a tree is rotting on one side, it can continue to thrive on the other as long as that tree doesn't give up. You know what I mean? So it's like we have all these storms that we're dealing with. And so potentially like we are moving in the right direction, even though right now it seems catastrophic, because as the United States and as the world, we've had a tower moment, right? In order to clean out anything that's not working, you have to have that collision where things just topple down and you have to rebuild. So like we're going to be okay. The sun's going to rise again. We're going to be able to function as a people. But it's probably going to be a very slow process where it's not going to be overnight. It's not going to be quick, but we are going to be moving forward as humanity.
I love that. That was beautiful. That was really well said. I thought that was really well said. Thank you for that. That was awesome. Yeah. Yeah. Let me see. We do have a couple donations. There was one from Cam and one from Raven. Thank you, Cam and Raven. I'm looking for your okay, here's Cam. This is little Cam, and I'll see what if he had a question in his check it out. Let me see here. If you can hear me, he said general reading. General reading.
He wants general reading, Cam does? Okay.
He's only 22 years old, little Cam. I love that. Like, because I always say we need more people, more younger people in our community, There's a lot of, and that's not a bad thing, It's just like we just need more younger people to take over for when we're, not doing this anymore,
Right.
And there doesn't seem to be as
New
much
generation.
Yeah, like on TikTok, there seems to be a little bit. It seems like the TikTok conspiracy crowd is a little bit younger, but on YouTube, the crowd is not. Yeah. What do you think, Pat?
At least like with the art community, I know on TikTok with our community, I had a lot of younger followers that were really inspired just by me going on there, and we could all do art together. Like a lot of them lurked while they worked on things, and it was just like that. I encourage body doubling, where you have somebody present with you. But you're not actually like interacting, I miss TikTok, but fuck Oracle. So I'm not doing that anymore, but we're on YouTube and things. But I feel like a lot of the newer generation is starting to come up into their own, and finding their talents and their interests and things. And as somebody that is 42, I appreciate it, if I can pass on some knowledge or get people interested in things, then my work is done here.
Absolutely, yeah. We have time tonight, guys. So my other show is until 9. So if you guys people want, if more people want readings, put them in the chat and we'll get to you. Yeah, it's weird. Every time you're on, I can hear your traffic in the background. It's like that's pretty cool, though. Like you live by like a busy highway or something.
I live off the main road in town. Yeah.
Yeah. How far are you from? I don't know, Jesus, but you don't have to tell people where you're from. But how far are you from the main city?
About 30 minutes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's the same as me. Like 30 minutes. I'm 30 minutes the other way. You're 30 minutes the other way.
Yeah. It's less without traffic, but with traffic, it's usually 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay. General reading for Cam. One second. My dog is crying, so she has gotten herself stuck somewhere.
Poor Yuffie.
I know.
Guys, I'll keep you entertained while she's on, so you guys can, ask me any question you want. Let's see what some people are saying about. And Sunshine Dream says, no, they ain't being fooled by capitalism either. Yeah, you're right. You're right. The young kids aren't buying it. Thank you for saying that, Sunday Dream. I agree with you. Sunshine says the young kids nowadays are like, what the fuck is going on, and why do I have to deal with it? Exactly, they are. Yeah. Dr. Strange says the young kids aren't being fooled by political parties or religious systems. I agree, and thank you for saying that, because I absolutely agree, and that's what I want to see in the world. Again, I don't think there's a left and right. There's just right and wrong and good and evil.
Yeah. And even when I'm voting, I'm more of a centralist. Like I agree with some things on both sides, but I think that the whole system just needs to.
That's how I feel too. That's how I feel. Honestly, yeah. I mean, I have like more conservative values, but like it's not. I'm not like
not extremist.
No, I'm an independent. I'm an absolute independent, and I don't even. After what this last election, I don't even think I can vote again, honestly, in good faith, because
I'm
yeah,
still going to try to pick the best candidates, like the better of the two evils, I guess. But
so you're not willing to give up on the system yet, right? It seems like, but like I feel like I'm like, man, like I don't know. Like, and then what was crazy was about this shooting in the White House. How crazy was that? Like,
that was so scary. And they shooting the lobby. Like,
Yeah,
that's so stupid.
Yeah,
like,
and
that was
how did
the
they get
guy
in?
was like almost.
There's
that
Secret
was like
Service
the first
everywhere.
attempt where the dude was like 4 people back and he was military, and you're gonna tell me he grazed the easy bitch,
Yeah.
please.
There was a picture of him with an Israeli Defense Forces shirt on. Did you see that?
No.
Yeah, the shooter supposedly had a picture with an Israeli defense shirt. It's being deleted off Facebook. Matter of fact, I wish we could share photos on here. That would be cool. You know, because I have the thing up on my phone still. Oh, I can show you. Wait, hold on. Let me see if I can. Let me see if I can come on.
I was gonna say, I think you can do like a share screen or whatever. Oh, he's pointing to the symbol that was on the shirt. That's crazy. United States of freaking Israel is what we are. Anyways. Okay.
Were you able to hear me?
No.
Okay, what I was doing was wait. I'm coming back into my computer. Hold on. I'm coming back in. Bad delay. You know, I'm just gonna deal with it this way. But yeah. Well, I was saying, I was showing you guys this. Like now, this is the picture of the shooter, and in the background, he has a picture that says Israeli Defense Forces. Like, you know, it's on his shirt. It's on his shirt. Yeah.
Oh, it's what's here that's being blocked by his hand. Okay.
Oh, maybe my volume.
So nonsense. But a lot of people are openly complaining, like our parents who still are in the cycle. Yeah, I was just reading Sunshine Daydreams comment there. Yeah, my mom went from raising me. She was like women's lib, and now she's MAGA, and so it's just really weird seeing the change. But say la vie, I guess. Okay, Cam's reading. There they are. So.
Did you say your mom was liberal and now she turned MAGA?
Yeah. I was raised women's lib. I went to protest.
Oh, sorry.
She
I didn't mean to.
She was all
you do have a delay a little.
She was all for me going to protests and things, and then she met my stepdad, and now she's MAGA. I don't know. And they didn't used to be that way. Something shifted in the last, I don't know, like 8 years. So it's real weird. Okay. So, Cam's reading. I had 4 cards. This is just popping out 4 cards all over the place today. We have 4 cards. We have the 4 of Cups, the 5 of Pentacles, the 8 of Pentacles, and then the Death card. Don't worry about the Death card. It doesn't mean true death, and it's not a bad thing. So the 4 of Cups is a gratitude card. Like, he's got these 4 cups there, and then his apprentice is here with these 3 cups here, and then the apprentice is coming up with another cup because the ones in front of him aren't satisfactory. So it's one of those things where you have to look at your surroundings, look at the things that you have, and take account for what you have and be grateful for them. Because there may be like some financial with this. It may be an emotional because it is a cups card. But a lot of times this comes up in like a financial situation. Maybe you want more, but aren't taking into account that, you know, you have a roof over your head and you're able to afford things. Maybe not like everything you want to, but like you can, because that is followed by the 5 of Pentacles, which is a light at the end of the tunnel kind of card. Like these people are coming through a hard storm and they're coming up on a house that's warm. So, those two paired together, it's really, you're taking an account for your blessings, what you have, what you're able to do, and trying not to take things very much for granted, because what you're looking for is coming, but you have to be able to appreciate it. There's millionaires and billionaires that just want more, 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 more because they're never satisfied, right? So you don't want to be in that sort of situation. You want to take an account for what you have. We do have the Eight of Pentacles, which is, she's here in her alchemy shop making her potions and selling them. So I'm not sure if there's going to be a job shift, if you're going to be going into an entrepreneurship, or if it's just you're going into a career path that's really meant for you, like something that is going to satisfy you both internally and externally, being able to have those funds that's available for you and also satisfy you mentally, because if you're in a job that you hate, regardless of the pay, it's going to drain you. But if you at least, and it's a job, right? The people that are like, oh, if you do what you love, you'll never work a day in your life. That's nonsense. It's work. I work doing my art, and there's days where I'm just like, oh, I don't want to do this one thing. And I'm like, and you have to remind yourself, you're like, what? But I kind of I like this stuff. What do I, but because it's become work and something that you have to do, you have to remember that, you're able to do this, and it's going to be a hell of a lot better than doing a job that you don't like. So with that in mind, let's get to this Death card. The Death card is the death of something. It can mean a death of a person, but generally not. So he's doing a cord cutting, and there's, as one door closes, another one opens. And that's normally what the Death card is. And with it having the Pentacles and the Cups cards along with it, possibly a job shift, possibly a position shift. But something's going to be ending, and it's not going to be a tragedy. It's not a Tower moment where everything's going to be destructive. You just have to look at what your situation and look for that next open door. Because even though something's ending, you just have to remember that this is going to lead me to a better option. But this, in order to get to a better place, one thing has to end for another thing to begin. So with the those all together, we're really looking at just a beneficial shift in your mental state, your train of thought, and how you're looking at the situation in order to really make those changes. So it may be a shift that's already happening, and you might just need to shift your mentality and try to focus on, okay, these are the things that I have. This is where I'm going. And yes, this was a loss, but it wasn't that much of a loss, So it will shift you into a new beginning and a happier situation. So, yes. I hope that resonated with you, Cam.
That was good for Cam. Yeah, that was great. Let me see here. Oh, sorry. Did you have more for him?
No, that was it.
Okay. I'll get to Raven next. She donated, and
hi, Stainless. Thanks for stopping by, friend.
Let me see here. My thing isn't moving. Where is Raven? Raven, are you in the Arizona? Raven, are you in the house?
I see hi, Danny, and I see Arizona Raven in the chat.
Oh, there she is.
Raven, did you have a specific question, or would you like a generalized reading? Hi, Danny. How are you?
Nanny's awesome. She says general reading. I'll put it up.
Okay, cool. Oh, there it is. I missed that. Thank you. Thanks for stopping by, Stainless. One of my D&D friends. He is so great at homebrew D&D. And I wish I was better at D&D. Anybody else play Dungeons and Dragons in the chat? Okay.
I've never played it before. I remember my friends used to play it when I was young. You know, do you play Pat still? Or are you good at it?
Yeah, I'm in 2 different campaigns. I play on Saturday and Sunday.
That's cool. It sounds interesting. Yeah.
Okay. So Raven, do you have a situation in your life that you are trying to move past and heal from? Because we have the 9 of Swords. We got this earlier. It's that girl that is just really upset about things and not noticing the sun coming out and rising. Like maybe you're grieving. Maybe it's grief of a relationship, or I'm getting the sense of like something to do with family, possibly a parent. We have the 10 of Wands that came up, which is you're carrying other people's burdens. So, you volunteered to do too much, to take on too much, maybe not speaking up for yourself enough, and feeling obligation. But it's causing you like internal strife where you're not able to then be like, this is going to be okay. And we have to remind ourselves that it's going to be okay, because we also have the 6 of Wands and the 9 of Pentacles. So the 6 of Wands is that community, and you're able to give to others, but you want to make sure that you're not taking on too many burdens with that 10 of Wands. The 9 of Pentacles is a very relaxed. She's chilling in her garden. She's doing fine. She's able to drink her wine and relax and read a book and just like sit back. So, but on either side of this, we have the 9 of Swords and bookend by the 10 of Wands. And then in the middle there, we have that 6 of Wands and the 9 of Pentacles. So it seems like we're able to do things for others, and we're able to, relax at times and give back. But we're also having to remember that like we can't take on too much. Like not everything is yours to do alone. And whatever the grief situation is, make sure that you're delegating to others as well. Like you're helping with your whatever the situation is. You're not the only one bearing all of the burden, so that you're making sure that you are being able to give, but not being like withered down by whatever it is. And it may be that these two things aren't quite related, where you're taking on too many burdens and you have whatever this grief is that might be separate from the external. So that might be also what's carrying too much on you. Like if you're having one situation go on and then there's another situation that also needs you to be really attentive and like take on the extra responsibilities and stuff, like making sure that you're speaking up and being like, I want to help, but I can't do all of this. Maybe I can do some. Like I can do part of it. But like we're gonna have to figure out how to split up this work and the burden that's happening. Because we're getting a bit of this like the duality with the grief and the overburdening, but also having the ability to do things for others and to be able to relax for yourself. But it's also a reminder that you do need to have self-care time. With that Nine of Pentacles, with her just chilling, relaxing, reading a book, and not dealing with the grief and not dealing with the burdens, just having that time to, make sure that we're showering, we're taking maybe a long bath, a long walk out in nature, getting your vitamin D, getting back to something that you enjoy that can allow your head to rest and get rid of like whatever this is. Because like I'm getting so much feeling just like here as like a heaviness. So like in order to be able to handle whatever the burdens are and be able to speak up for yourself, make sure you're taking that self-care time, to really just zone back in on you and make sure you're taking care of you, because you can't take care of everybody else if you're depleted. So I hope that was good, Raven. I hope that resonated with you and that brought you some clarity with whatever's going on.
Kimberly Bamford would like a reading, and then Andromeda as well. So we'll get Kimberly first because she came up on the bottom here, and then we'll get Andromeda next.
Andromeda as well? Okay. For anybody that's in the chat, if you do want a reading, just let us know. The donations help Rob out, but they are not needed for a reading. He does usually give me a tip, so that helps me out too. But it's not needed for a reading. And if you have any questions you want to ask or anything like that, definitely drop them in the chat.
So Kimberly says she would like a. Okay, yeah, we got Kimberly. I was just looking down at the chat on my phone.
Okay, and looks like Sunshine would like a general reading as well. So after Andromeda. Okay, so Kimberly, we have the Lovers, the Star, and the Queen of Cups. So the Lovers card is typically lovers. It can be a companionship or a good friendship as well. So it is a positive card. It is, being able to find somebody that has like interests, your like kind of same mindset. Followed by the Star card. We are being able to take in and pour out. So it's going to be, an exchange of energy. So the things that you put out into the world is what you take in. So I'm not sure if you're looking for a partner or if you're going to be looking for more clarity with your current partner, and really like diving into each other and maybe opening up communications a little more, because with that Star card, it's, it is what you put out into the world is what you're going to bring in. You have the positivity and the mindset of everything's going to work out, that everything's going to be okay. And then the Queen of Cups is like that emotional stability and just like very much a comfort card. And like she's pregnant. Not sure if maybe you're looking to have a child. That might not come into play at all. That could also be not representative of like an actual child, but the birth of your mental stability within a relationship. Because like she's able to just like hang out, feed the fishes. She's emotionally stable, and it's not a turbulent sea around her. So like we're coupled with the Star and the Lovers card, and so we're going to be able to have that emotional balance and swing that is what everybody's looking for. That's what's needed within a relationship in order for it to work, for them to be the companionship. We have to have that open communication and that influx from one to the other, and being able to really sanctify everything. So I'm not sure if you're single or if you're with somebody, or how that's playing out specifically. But if you're currently with somebody, just make sure we're having that open communication so that everything can be at balance. If you're currently looking for somebody, then, just keeping that in mind, that like you're going to, hi, Yuffie, that you're going to be able to get the things back that you're putting out. So remember that we're always putting out positivity so that we get positivity in return. And that is my reading. Hi, Yuffie. How are you doing?
How's she doing? How's your dog doing?
Oh, I mean, she's doing well for her age. She's still bebopping around, and I got the wheelchair for her more so like we could walk outside a little bit, because she does stumble and fall because she has the hip dysplasia. But she's really, really stubborn, not like her mama at all. And just like wants to be able to walk on her own. and doesn't want to have to use the chair, or even like when she falls over, she'll just like sigh and like roll her eyes at me, and she's like, this body, stupid mother, can you help me up? And I pick her up and she's off again. Hey, Graphic, thanks for stopping in.
Well, oh wow. This one was a nice 199 super chat from Sunshine Daydream. I guess they'd like a reading. I don't know. I'm not sure.
General reading I saw earlier.
They didn't say if they wanted a reading. They just kind of donated. You
No, there was
Okay.
She did. I saw it. Yeah. And then Andromeda will be after that.
Okay. Oh yeah, I forgot about Andromeda. I'm sorry. I'm looking at the chat from my phone and monitoring it. You guys are.
Sorry, my eye itches. So, okay. We have the King of Cups, the Three of Wands, the Three of Swords, and then the King of Pentacles on the other side of those two threes. So the King of Cups is the masculine, balancing of energies. Like he's just calm on his island. It is associated with Cancer, but it's also associated with isolation. Like he's just happy on his tiny little island, doing his thing, not really having to like deal with anybody else. He's king of his own ship, right? And then we have that following. So that could be you. That could be you coming into your masculine power. Because male, female, doesn't matter. We both have masculine and feminine energies within us. So it could be you coming into that kind of power. It could be that you are just needing to isolate, to wrap your head around some things, and to bring yourself that like mental clarity. We have that followed by the Three of Wands. And she also is like standing on that cliff edge with the water there and casting her spells down at something. So projecting her energy out into the universe, but also kind of staying isolated. But it's it's still very much a coming into your own power situation, and taking control, but also being able to step back and reflect on everything. That is followed by the Three of Swords, which is, it is a card of loss. Like there's usually some sort of heartbreak that goes along with it. Maybe it's going to be like a situation doesn't work out. You might not get like a job that you really wanted, or there might be a situation within your life that causes you some heartbreak. But it is followed by the King of Pentacles. And that's that, I am relaxed and completely in my own. I have the financial stability. I'm like going to be okay. And with the kings on both sides, that might be a masculine person within your life. It may be you. There may be a situation that causes a shift, and a bit of like a heartbreak, but on the other side of it, it's going to be a lot better. Like there's energies at play here that it's having that ability to step back and have that mental clarity and being able to isolate out of a situation that's causing heartbreak is going to end up leading to a much better situation with better financials, with better capabilities of providing and being like in your own kingdom and not so isolated like it was in the beginning. So there's going to be some sort of shift that happens, but it is going to be for the better, even if it's going to be like a heartbreak right now, as long as that clarity is held. But with the heartbreak, it seems like there's going to be clarity. So whatever's going to happen is going to end up causing like more clarity, more financial stability, like just a better overall outcome with losing that thing. Like it's not going to be a bad situation, even if it causes like some inner turmoils. So it's gonna be better. It's gonna be okay. I don't know if you were here earlier when I was saying like, try to put some keywords in your spells. So like if you're looking for an opportunity, try to put a keyword on there so you know that opportunity is going to be like the right opportunity, so that we don't have maybe some heartbreak along the way. But there might have been like a lesson learned that you needed to step back and have the clarity and like what you're actually wanting to align with. So yes, like in the end, it's going to get better, even with the loss. Because with loss, it always opens doors for new things. I just flipped over the deck. Sometimes I look at the bottom of the deck. We have the Knight of Swords, which is very much that like determination energy. Going on that path, staying with your focus and that forward movement. And he has the crows with him, so you may need to rally some allies, whether that's like reaching out to friends or maybe like something in the community, but definitely stay forward on that path with whatever you're doing, and whatever that disappointment was, it's not going to be a disappointment for long. Okay. That is your reading, Sunshine.
That was great. That was an amazing reading. So that was nice. Of Raven donated for Andromeda to get a reading. We were going to get Andromeda next anyway, but that was nice. I got it. He says,
well, thank you, Raven.
Question. He says, "What is my truly?" Yeah. She says, question, what does truly my soul want to be?
Oh, okay. I'll get to Andromeda in 2 seconds. I just saw Sunshine in the chat. So there was a situation where they changed jobs and we need to catch up tomorrow. Yeah, Sunshine, give me a call. I am free tomorrow, except in the evening I have Japanese class at like 9. But I'm sure. Call me in the morning. I'm up early anymore. All right. Andromeda.
Yeah, your reading's been really good tonight, Kat. You're like really deep. We got a big crowd. We got it says there's 25 people in the chat, but there's a lot more than Kimberly. We got Kimberly Bamford, right? Yeah, we got her. Yeah, just want to make sure. So we got Andromeda. We got Sunshine. If anybody else would like a Sunshine Dream, we got her. We got if anybody else would like a reading, put it in the chat now. Forever hold your peace. You know.
Okay. So your question, what truly in my soul do I want to be, can have a variety of answers. And this seems to have answered one part of what you're seeking. Because I'm not sure if okay. We have the Page of Swords, the 10 of Pentacles, Judgment, and the 10 of Wands. So the Page of Swords is, Page Cups are always about like new journeys, new adventures, learning something new, going off onto a new path. The Page of Swords is, with swords, they're very determined. It's very calculated. But with the Page card, he's calculated. He's got his bags packed. Like he's got all of his books and his scrolls and like everything he could possibly need in that bag. but he is going off on a new adventure. There's more security in it and a more like of a strategic plan, as well as the Ten of Pentacles. So the Ten of Pentacles has to do a lot with like family, obtaining that white picket fence, being secure and loved within your space, within your home, being financially stable. Um, so we're just looking at just those two together, like you're wanting to go on to a new path and you're wanting to have this like this idea of being stable, being like whole within your own community. The judgment card is going off on that own path again, dancing to the beat of your own drum, living life, creating your own music, while having like the stability to do everything. It could be that it's you have an idea, because the page cup is always like that idea stage, like you're just starting out on that path, so you have an idea of something that you would like to do, and it's really up to you to take those first steps. With the Ten of Wands being at the end, that's the card that you're not wanting to take on extra burdens. You don't want to have to deal with a lot of other people's problems. Like you don't want a lot of drama in your life. You want to have like your happy little stable home, and being able to do your own thing and not have all of those things going on. So it might be a reevaluation of what you're doing, who you're hanging around with, and how you're going to be able to get to that place that you were wanting. There is going to be some new adventure, though. Like you're going to have to be willing to take whatever those steps are into the ideas that you have, but also not have to take on other people's burdens while doing it. So there's going to be that balance that you're going to have to come into play. And with the Judgment card, that is that, looking at your life and going, what's not needed here, and like what needs to release, like what needs to come to judgment as well, and like not be in my life anymore, so that I'm not taking on burdens, so that I'm able to have like this idea of home and what that looks like to you, and start off on that new path. But there seems to be like a new path that you're going to have to go on and take that step and be like calculated about it, and not make any rash decisions in order to get to that not endpoint, into that new beginning, and that shift that needs to happen. I know it didn't tell you like what your job is going to be, or maybe like your life passion or that sort of thing, but it looks like there's definitely some message coming through that like you know what's going on, like what's there, but there's things that are holding you back on taking on too much, maybe being around some of the wrong people, and needing to step outside of your comfort zone and go down that path and be that page and be like, okay, these are the steps I need to take in order to get this dream. Yeah, I mean, Andromeda, that might also be like with having to kind of embrace what's going on around you and make the calculations to shift your mindset so that you can have abundance in this plane as well. Just going off of the comment that you had wrote. Did you need clarity on any of those cards?
We good? Are you good? Okay. We got one more. We got one more. You got Nathan. Nathan said I had the wrong name. Nathan's at Way Switch Fox, and then we'll call it a night. And let me see here. Where's he at? Oh man, this is gonna bother me because I can't find. Oh, here he is. He requested earlier. He says, "I'm not sure what his question is. If he has a question or what."
I requested earlier, Nathan said. Sorry we missed you, Nathan. My apologies. Did you need a general reading? Do you have a specific question? I'm shuffling the cards. Hi, Raw. How are you doing? You popped in right at the end. Yo.
He's next.
Nathan, are we there? If you're not there, I will do a general reading for you, friend. Maybe you can catch it on the replay if we missed you. I'm sorry from earlier. Let's see. Here we go. I requested my reading on my timeline. Okay. All right. Thank you. Sorry, I'm trying. It's hard for me to read and read chat at the same time because it's kind of messes up my focus if I'm trying to also read chat. Did you want to know anything specific about your timeline? Or just a generalized reading on it? Like where you're going on your timeline, how to shift timelines, what's hanging up on your timeline? All of the above. Okay, where you are going currently. So we have these that popped out. All right. So we have lots of wands. We have the Two of Pentacles, followed by the Queen of Wands, the Knight of Wands, the Hangman, and the Page of Wands. So the Two of Pentacles is about balance. It is a Pentacles card, so it does have to do with money, but not always necessarily, but it is about balance. So balancing work life, balancing your what's going on around you so that you're able to have clarity and live in a balance. You know, you're not always going to be able to have like exact balance, but it's just keeping that in mind, that as we go through things, to not over concern yourself with too much one way or the other, but trying to keep that higher frequency as you're moving along. Like, don't allow a negative situation to completely ruin your day, you know, and your week and your month and your year or whatever. And with that, then also keep in mind about financial balance. With the Queen of Wands, like, she is holding her own. She's there chilling with her dragon, with her roses, just, you know, hanging out, being the best she can possibly be. This could be like pulling more into feminine traits, not necessarily like, it doesn't have to be like, you know, outwardly feminine traits, or what we think of as like physically feminine, but being able to hold space for your feminine side, for the more creativity, the adventure, the being confident, because that's what a lot of like she's really about, is just being completely okay with being you and being confident in yourself. And that goes along with that balance thing, right? Like, you want to be able to be you, be who you are, have your life not be so like topsy-turvy. The Knight of Wands, knights are always about like rushing into things, but the Knight of Wands is like really kind of being able to survey the scenery with what's going on, taking a step back, looking at what's going on. Like, yes, there is a dragon over there in the distance. Could the dragon burn everything down? Yeah. Is the dragon going to burn everything down if I go and provoke the dragon? Yes. Is there a chance he's going to just stay up on that mountaintop if I like keep my distance but keep an eye on him? Also, yes. So it's just like, whatever's going on over here, be aware of it, but don't be too concerned with it. Like, keep an eye on it, make sure that it's not like causing destruction in your life, but also you're moving forward on a path, you know? So like, whatever this is, like, continue on your path, continue coming into your own, finding that balance, and not be so concerned with the dragon on the mountain. Followed by is the Hangman card. So the Hangman is taking that moment to chill out, reflect, and know that you're going to be able to get out of the situation. Because the Hangman, like, you know, he's bound up, he's hanging from a tree, but he's not. Like, whoever put him there didn't do a good job. Like, he's got the key in his hand for the lock on his wrist. The way he's hung up in the tree is not like unmovable. Like, he's going to be able to break out. And he's taking this time to just reflect, to look at the situation, to look at his surroundings, but also just to inwardly relax and just chill out for a moment. Let the bad guys go away. Let the dragon go on its way. And, you know, just keep that inner peace. Because then that's followed by the Page of Wands. The Page of Wands is about adventure. So there's, you know, we have this cat in the background saying, no, let's go back. And like, the page and this lizard are trying to move forward down the path. So whatever this is in your life, like whatever this situation is that's being that dragon on the mountain that's causing an imbalance, maybe you have somebody in your life, like you're trying to move forward, change career paths, possibly with that Two of Pentacles. Just make a shift to being more who you want to be. There's somebody in the background telling you that you shouldn't. Like, you shouldn't do these things. You probably shouldn't go on that path. You shouldn't be your more authentic self. You don't need to make these changes to find balance, where inside you're like, I kind of actually do. Like, for me to be me, for me to find this balance, for me to be able to move with my path, like, you're going to have to ignore somebody, something. There's a something here that you just have to be okay with bypassing. Like, they don't have to be completely out of your life, or it doesn't have to be completely out of your life. You have to keep an eye on it, but then just like go on your own path. Like, do whatever it is that you're trying to do so that you are happier, so that you're finding that balance, so that you're finding the balance financially, and just go. Like, you got this. You have the adventurous soul from that page card, from that knight card. Stay calm while you're doing it. Let whatever storm it is blow over, and then make moves to, set foot on that trail, to go on that adventure and go through whatever you need to go through to be shifted onto like your path. Yeah, so there's somebody chattering in the background. There's something like sitting that, they can blow their smoke, they can blow their fire from the top of the mountain, they can do their naysaying, but the storm's going to pass, and you're going to find that balance. And because we have two of these cards have storms in the background that are passing through. And then we're at that page card that has, it's a clear day where this little cat is in the background, but that page is moving forward into the brighter balance, that brighter future. So just kind of keep that in mind if something starts here, and then you can just be like, with peace and love, I recognize you, but I don't need this. So yeah. I hope that resonated, Nathan. I hope that helped with your question.
This was amazing. These are really great readings, Kat. Do you want to tell people how they can follow you? And thank you. This was awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. So follow me on Facebook, and Facebook, Patreon, and YouTube at Cat Monster Arts. And then on Instagram, if you look Cat Monster Arts up, or Cat Monster, I will come up, but my username is Veiled Artist. I've had the account since 2014. It's kind of late for me to change it now. I do still have an account on TikTok, but if you interact with me, I'm not on TikTok anymore. They've already scrubbed the system for their AI stuff, so I left it there.
Yeah.
I didn't delete my account. So yeah, find me definitely here on YouTube. I'm trying to get my subscriber count up. We're almost at 200, which I appreciate everybody that has subscribed, on my friends, family, and strangers.
All right. Well, thank you so much. And
there you go. Thank you, Jason, for putting that up. Jason put the link in the chat. But yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much, and I'll be seeing you guys soon. Thanks, guys.